4. Savage gorilla exercises to build primal, unstoppable strength. Gorillas are the definition of raw, untamed strength. Massive, explosive, and built for dominance. Imagine carrying that same primal power into your own training, where every movement makes you feel unstoppable. These aren't your average gym exercises. They're designed to push your muscles, grip, and endurance to the edge, forging power that's both brutal and functional. If you're ready to train like a beast and tap into the kind of strength that commands respect, these 4 gorilla-inspired moves will take you there. Prepare to break limits and unleash the savage inside you. Exercise 1. Pull-ups. If there's one exercise that defines primal, animal-like power, it's the pull-up. Think about it. Gorillas swing their enormous bodies through trees with an ease that leaves us in awe. That explosive, crushing pulling power is exactly what you can develop with pull-ups. Unlike machines or isolation moves, the pull-up demands raw strength, coordination, and discipline, qualities that build not just muscle, but untamed dominance. Done right, this single move can transform your upper body into a fortress. At first glance, pull-ups look simple. Hang from a bar, pull yourself up, lower yourself down. But simplicity doesn't mean easy. In fact, most people avoid them because they expose weaknesses that machines hide. Pull-ups are brutally honest. If your lats, arms, grip, or core are underdeveloped, you'll feel it instantly. That's why mastering them earns so much respect. They are the gatekeeper exercise separating the average lifter from the beast. When you perform pull-ups consistently, you're training multiple muscle groups at once. Your lats spread wide, giving you that powerful V shape that screams strength. Your traps and rhomboids engage, building thickness across your upper back. Your biceps and forearms strain with every rep, while your grip becomes unbreakable. Even your abs tighten to stabilize your body, essentially turning each pull-up into a full-core challenge. That's why fighters, soldiers, and athletes worldwide rely on pull-ups. They prepare your body for anything. The real magic happens when you progress beyond body weight. Weighted pull-ups turn a great exercise into a savage one. Strapping plates to a dip belt, wearing a weighted vest, or holding a dumbbell between your legs transforms each rep into a battle. Your muscles are forced to adapt, getting bigger, harder, and stronger with every attempt. Suddenly, pulling your body weight feels effortless. That's when you know you've stepped into gorilla territory. There are endless variations to keep your pull-ups from going stale. Wide grip emphasizes back width. Close grip builds dense strength. Neutral grip hammers your forearms and grip power. Explosive pull-ups train raw athleticism, while slow negatives forge muscle control and growth. Each variation attacks your body differently, ensuring you never plateau. The key is progression. If you can't do a full pull-up yet, start with assisted pull-ups, bands, or even negatives where you just lower yourself slowly. Build strength steadily, and soon your first strict rep will come. From there, the sky's the limit. 10, 20, 30 reps unbroken, then onto weighted dominance. Pull-ups don't just give you muscle, they give you confidence. The strength you gain carries into every lift, every sport, and even daily life. A strong back means a stable foundation. A crushing grip means control. And the ability to lift yourself, literally, means independence and power that machines can't teach. If you want true gorilla strength, don't skip pull-ups. Embrace the challenge, fight gravity, and master the bar. It's not just an exercise, it's the ultimate test of what your body can do. Exercise 2. Deadlifts. If pull-ups give you the upper body dominance of a gorilla swinging from the trees, then deadlifts give you the earth-shaking strength of one standing on the ground. Watch a gorilla in the wild. When it rises to full height and drags heavy objects, its raw lower body and spinal power is unmatched. The deadlift is the human equivalent, forging unbreakable strength from the ground up. At its heart, the deadlift is brutally simple. Bend down, grab something heavy, and stand tall. But don't let its simplicity fool you. This single movement recruits nearly every major muscle group: hamstrings, glutes, quads, lats, traps, grip, and core. In one explosive pull, your entire body learns to work as a unit, creating functional strength that translates to every other lift and every physical activity in life. Why is the deadlift so effective? Because it mirrors how strength is used in the real world. Picking up a heavy object from the ground isn't just a gym move, it's a survival skill. Gorillas do it naturally with logs, rocks, or even opponents in fights. When you deadlift, you're not just building muscle, you're training your nervous system to unleash maximal force. That's why deadlifts build not only raw power but also explosive athleticism. The grip challenge alone makes this exercise savage. Hanging onto a loaded bar pushes your forearms and hands to their limit, giving you a bone-crushing hold that directly supports your pull-ups, rows, and combat-level strength. Your spinal erectors brace like steel beams to protect your back, while your legs fire like pistons to drive the weight upward. Few exercises build this kind of complete primal toughness. To master the deadlift, technique is everything. Plant your feet shoulder-width apart, grip the bar tight, keep your chest tall, and hinge your hips back as you pull. The key is engaging your posterior chain, glutes and hamstrings, rather than yanking with your back. Once the bar passes your knees, lock out with powerful hip drive, standing tall like a king of strength. Done right, the deadlift makes your entire body unbreakable. Done wrong, it can punish you. So treat it with respect. Variations keep the lift fresh and brutal. Sumo deadlifts hammer your hips and quads. Romanian deadlifts stretch and grow your hamstrings like cables. Trap bar deadlifts combine safety with massive loading potential. Deficit deadlifts make you explosive off the floor, while rack pulls overload the top end for gorilla-level lockout strength. Each style builds a different piece of the beast. What makes the deadlift special is its transfer power. A heavy deadlift makes your squat stronger, your press more stable, and your pull-ups more explosive. It hardens your frame, thickens your back, and gives you that commanding presence that turns heads the moment you walk in a room. This is not a vanity exercise. It's a primal rite of passage. If you want gorilla strength, you cannot skip the deadlift. It is the rawest display of human power, the closest we can get to channeling the ground-shaking might of nature's strongest primates. Approach the bar, grip it like your life depends on it, and rip it from the earth. That's how you build unstoppable gorilla tier strength. Exercise 3. Tire flips. If there's one exercise that screams primal power, it's the tire flip. Nothing feels more savage than walking up to a massive tractor tire, gripping it with your bare hands, and flipping it end over end. This is the kind of raw, explosive training that channels the chaotic energy of a gorilla tearing through its environment. Unlike controlled gym lifts, tire flips are wild, messy, and brutally effective, forcing your entire body to work together in one savage movement. The beauty of the tire flip is in its simplicity. Grab, lift, drive, flip. But behind that simplicity lies one of the most complete full-body strength builders you'll ever experience. When you crouch down and grip the tire, your hamstrings, glutes, and quads fire to launch it off the ground. As it rises, your back and traps take over, while your core braces like a steel beam to keep you stable. Your biceps, forearms, and grip tighten as you drive the tire forward with everything you've got. Finally, as you push it over, your chest, shoulders, and triceps explode with force. In one move, you've trained nearly every major muscle group in the body. Tire flips aren't just about brute force. They're about explosive power. Unlike a deadlift, where you move weight in a straight controlled line, tire flips demand speed, aggression, and drive. That's why athletes and strongmen swear by them. They mimic the explosive strength you need for combat sports, sprints, and raw athletic dominance. This is not just strength, it's strength in motion, just like the gorilla charging through its territory. Performing tire flips requires both technique and aggression. Start with a tire heavy enough to challenge you, but not so heavy that you compromise form. Squat low, keep your chest against the tire, and grip underneath with your arms locked. Drive through your legs like you're performing a powerful squat, then explode upward and forward. As the tire rises, switch from lifting to pushing, shoving it over with your chest and arms. Each rep should feel like a battle, because it is. The variations are just as savage. Lighter, faster flips build conditioning and endurance, turning you into a tire flipping machine. Heavier tires demand raw power and absolute commitment. You can even set distances or time challenges. How many flips in 60 seconds, or how far you can move the tire. No matter how you do it, every flip tests not only your muscles but also your mindset. What separates tire flips from traditional lifts is the primal satisfaction. There's something raw and liberating about attacking a massive tire and conquering it. It feels less like exercise and more like combat, an outlet for aggression and dominance. Plus, it builds strength that directly translates to real life. Moving heavy objects, overpowering opponents, and developing explosive athletic performance. If you want gorilla strength, tire flips are non-negotiable. They don't just build muscle, they build savage energy, explosive speed, and unstoppable force. Step up to the tire, lock in your grip, and flip it like your primal instincts demand. That's not just training, that's unleashing the gorilla inside you. Exercise 4. Kettlebell swings. When you watch a gorilla in motion, charging forward, smashing through obstacles, or leaping with terrifying speed, you see one thing at work: explosive hip power. That raw strength comes from the core, glutes, and hamstrings firing like a spring. The kettlebell swing is the human answer to that primal energy. It's not just an exercise, it's a ballistic movement that forges speed, power, and endurance while conditioning your body to move like a beast. At first glance, the swing looks simple. Grab a kettlebell, hinge at the hips, and drive it forward. But beneath that simplicity lies one of the most brutal, effective conditioning tools you'll ever use. Unlike curls or presses, kettlebell swings don't just build muscle, they build athleticism. Every rep teaches your body to generate force from the hips, which is the foundation of explosive power in running, jumping, lifting, and fighting. That's why athletes, fighters, and special forces operators swear by this movement. The kettlebell swing trains the posterior chain, the powerhouse muscles of your backside. Your glutes fire with every thrust, your hamstrings stretch and snap like coiled springs, and your lower back stabilizes under pressure. Your core braces hard, protecting your spine and transferring energy upward. Even your grip and shoulders get torched as you control the kettlebell's arc. In one motion, you're developing both strength and conditioning, just like a gorilla's explosive but enduring movements. The key to mastering the swing is understanding that it's not a squat, it's a hip hinge. You don't lift the kettlebell with your arms, you drive it with your hips. Imagine loading a spring. You hinge back. Tension builds in your glutes and hamstrings. Then you snap forward explosively, launching the kettlebell to chest height. Your arms simply guide the bell. Your lower body does the work. This creates incredible power transfer, building gorilla-like explosiveness that carries over to deadlifts, sprints, jumps, and combat strikes. There are multiple variations to keep your training savage. Two-handed swings build raw power and conditioning. One-handed swings add a brutal anti-rotational core challenge, forcing your obliques to stabilize. Heavy swings build max strength, while lighter, faster swings push your heart rate into overdrive, giving you conditioning that rivals sprinting. Double kettlebell swings? That's pure chaos, and a challenge worthy of any beast. The swing also trains something many lifters ignore: power endurance. It's not just about lifting heavy once, it's about sustaining explosive power repeatedly, just like a gorilla who can charge, climb, and fight without burning out. After a few sets of hard swings, you'll feel your lungs burning, your grip screaming, and your body drenched in sweat. That's when you know you're forging more than muscle. You're building unstoppable conditioning. Few exercises give as much bang for your buck as kettlebell swings. They build power, endurance, speed, and toughness all at once. More importantly, they make you move like an athlete, not just a lifter. If gorilla strength is your mission, swings are your secret weapon. Grip the kettlebell, unleash your hips, and swing with primal force. This is how you move like a beast.